everyone, in the previous lab we've configured GLBP using an IPv4. In this today lab we're going to configure GLBP using an IPv6. As you can see on the topology, we have two routers, router 1 and router 2, interconnected using their fast Ethernet 00, and they're connected to a switch and a PC down here. Our goal is to make sure that this PC will be able to reach the default gateway, which is a virtual IP address for the GLBP domain. So in case that we lost either R1 or R2, we still have connectivity. So without further ado, I'm going to jump in and start the configuration of router 1. So on router 1, the first thing that we want to do, we want to make sure that we are enabling IPv6 unicast routing. Otherwise we will not have any routing capability. So now I'm going to configure IPv6 address on the fast Ethernet 00. So IPv6 enable. Make sure that it's not shut down. And go to fast Ethernet 10. Enable IPv6 there as well. And making sure it is not shut down either. Okay. On the fast Ethernet 00, we would like to enable GLBP. So the way to do that, basically, just like an IPv4, we type in GLBP. We get an identifier, which is globally significant, as you remember. So this time we use the same thing, 204. And then this time we're going to use IPv6. Okay? And then we're going to use the autoconfig to basically take the entire thing. Okay. And then we're going to specify a priority this time. Let's say here we're going to have 150. And GLBP 204, we're going to have it as a preempt. So the higher the priority, then the router will be selected as an active router, or active virtual gateway, or AVG. So in this case we want R1 to be an AVG. Okay, and make sure that all the IP addresses are there. And as you can see, this router is now being elected as an active for the GLBP group 204. So we want to do a Shopia IPv6 interface brief. Look at our interfaces are all up and running. Alright, we're going to jump into router 2. Configure the IP addresses there. So interface fast Ethernet 00, IPv6 enable, no shut, interface fast Ethernet 10, IPv6 enable, no shut on that interface as well. Go back to the global configuration and make sure that we're enabling IPv6 unicast routing. And then an interface fast Ethernet 00, enable GLBP 204 IPv6, and then we're going to do autoconfig, and then GLBP 204 priority, we're going to specify a lower priority, let's say 110, and that's it. Okay. We're going to wait a little while for the router 2 in order to speak back to the GLBP 204 domain to see if can it be elected as a standby router. So while we're waiting for that, we check our IP addresses, and as you can see, okay, show IPv6 interface brief. Okay, our interface up and running. So we do a show GLBP to find out where we stand. Okay, our state is a standby, as you can see, for router 2, and you can also see that basically this was basically the virtual IP address that we got. Okay, and the rest of the information. So we basically have a weight of 100 on that router as well. So now we're gonna jump into this PC here and configure the IP, see if there's any IP address has been configured. Okay, yep. So thing that we want to do, we want to basically ping to the virtual IP address of the router 1 and router 2, which is a GLBP 204 virtual IP address. So go back to router 2, find that IP address here. Okay. And as you can see, we are able to reach it. So now, as usual, one of the tests I'm going to do is turn off one of the routers to see if we are still capable of pinging to the virtual IP address of the GLBP domain. So I'm going, in this case, shut down the router 2. As you can see, we no longer have connectivity to router 2. So I'm going to do the same thing. And as you can see, we are still able to reach it. At the same time, if we jump into R1, we should see that basically that we are still in active mode. So if you look at the show GLBP command, we are active. Okay, and the state has been changed. Okay. So one more time, we're going to ping to the virtual IP address to see if we have connectivity, and we do. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this